to the Wrestling with Politics YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you exactly what we'll be doing to anybody like Joe Biden or any of these wealthy elites who try to mess with us. Can I go home now? What's going on? Just like that. Roll the video.
It just felt like we was like in fucking hell, bro. Like it felt like we was in a concert in hell.
Welcome everyone back to Wrestling with Politics. Today we will be breaking down AOC's latest disingenuous Instagram video. In this video we're about to watch AOC, who quite frankly should have just kept quiet and honestly said nothing at all, just gave her competitors more momentum than they ever even had. In this video, AOC incoherently comes out against the Green Party by claiming several disingenuous lies about the Green Party itself, and more importantly, their presidential candidate, Jill Stein. It's very clear that AOC's video was a direct order from Democratic elites to do what they always do: take any chance that any third party has at gaining support and crushing it as quickly as possible. And they're not gonna do it by actually winning the support of the Green Party's voters, but by making sure that there is no competition, by making sure that Jill Stein isn't even on the ballot, and you never even get the chance to vote for her at all. But let's not get distracted here. Let's get straight into this video, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments if anything that AOC says in this video manages to convince you of anything.
Y'all, this is a little spicy, but I have thoughts. I feel like I should say this for a life. I'm not coming for people who are thinking about this. I'll talk to you. What I have a problem with is the fact that if you are running for president, you're the de facto leader of your party. And first of all, trust me on this. I run as a third party candidate in New York. I'm also run as a working families party candidate in addition to running as a Democrat. Because trust me, I've been on record about my criticisms of a two-party system. So this is not about that.
And right off the bat here, I just have to cut this video because it's like, where are we here? Where even is AOC sitting? She's sitting on some random couch in somebody's apartment here. You can't even tell where this lady is. This is where politicians make videos, laying down, relaxing. What type of video even is this? And then AOC has the gall to come out and say that she's a third-party candidate. Like, what? No, you're not. You're a Democrat. Everybody knows that you're a Democratic candidate. Everybody knows that you're with the Democratic Party. Now she wants to say she's the Working Families Party, which is basically in cahoots with the Democratic Party. So what the hell is the difference? And in this video, you come out and talk trash about a third party candidate. So then she wants to jack that she's also a third party. It's just a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie. And unfortunately, that's just the beginning with this video.
But you are the leader of your party. And if you run for years and years and years and years and years in a row, and your party has not grown, and you don't add city council seats, and you don't add down ballot candidates, and you don't add state electives, that's bad leadership.
And then AOC comes out here with one of the biggest lies of all, blaming Jill Stein for the fact that the Green Party hasn't grown much in these past couple of years, when it's because of AOC's Democratic Party that I, in New York, can't even vote for Jill Stein, even if I wanted to. And AOC wants to pretend here that the Green Party doesn't run people for House of Representatives, doesn't run people for the Senate, that Jill Stein's the only candidate. Well, Matthew Ho tried to run for House of Representatives, and they tried to kick him off the ballot as well. And any Green Party candidate who tries to run for any Senate seat or anything like that has to face tremendous litigation against you-know-who, the Democratic Party. And AOC tends to conveniently leave that part out. And that's the problem.
And that to me is what's upsetting. Because if you have been your party's nominee for 12 years in a row, 4 years ago, and 4 years before that, and 4 years before that, and you cannot grow your movement pretty much at all, and can't pursue any successful strategy, and all you do is show up once every 4 years to speak to people who are justifiably pissed off, but you're just showing up once every 4 years to do that, you're not serious. You're not to me, it does not read as authentic. It reads as predatory.
And AOC has some balls to say that Jill Stein doesn't come off as authentic when everything that AOC says sounds fake, it sounds scripted, it sounds like she's prepared these lines a million times over. It doesn't read as authentic, and everything that AOC says comes off as straight up gaslighting and projection, to be quite honest with you. And again, another lie, she says that Jill Stein has been running for 12 years. Well, I voted for the Green Party in 2020, and I didn't vote for Jill Stein. I voted for Howie Hawkins. So no, Jill Stein hasn't been in charge for 12 years straight. No, they don't run just every 4 years. They've been doing a lot more than that. And of course, she lies to you about it. And again, this is just complete buffoonery from AOC, because if she actually stood for any of the things that she believed in, like the Green New Deal, which actually came out of the Green Party, which is an idea she actually stole from Jill Stein, if she actually believed in any of the things that she said she believed in, she would be supporting Jill Stein for president. She would be supporting the only candidate in the race who is against genocide. But guess what? AOC's not against genocide. She's for Kamala Harris, a candidate that will continue to bomb children in Palestine, and she wants to act like she has moral superiority over you. She has no moral superiority. She has no right to tell anybody what to do, because all she's doing is gaslighting into supporting the people who started this entire mess. And we're not that damn stupid. And that's why people are waking up and people are starting to listen to candidates like Jill Stein. And speaking of Jill Stein, we're about to get to her clip. Let's just finish this little bit of AOC's nonsense.
I'm sorry, I'm just saying it. Because as a person, I endorse Working Families Party candidates. I endorse DSA candidates. I take risks, and I endorse even in primaries against Democrats when it's merited. What does this person do to grow power?
And that's just completely laughable. The fact that AOC says that she's willing to take risks. She's the one who's willing to take so many risks endorsing candidates. Well, you definitely didn't take a risk when you endorsed Kamala Harris. I bet that was the safest political move that AOC's made in a long time. And she definitely didn't take a risk and vote against Nancy Pelosi. And she definitely didn't take a risk and vote against crushing a railroad strike. And she definitely didn't take a risk and vote against transferring $5 trillion to the richest 1% in the society. So AOC definitely knows a lot about risks. And then she wants to start talking about power and gaining power within your party, which is laughable because AOC has gained no power. She has professed nothing. She's one of the least effective members of Congress. Everybody knows this. And on top of that, AOC's squad, which was supposed to grow, she wants to talk about gaining seats in Congress. Well, guess what? AOC's squad has only gotten smaller. Cori Bush, Jamal Bowman voted out by who? The Israel lobby. And what does AOC have to say about this? Absolutely nothing at all. So this power that AOC has, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it anywhere at all. The only thing that I'm seeing AOC do is capitulate more and more and more to the demands of Joe Biden, of Kamala Harris, of Barack Obama, and to the deep state. And that's a big, big problem. But let's move on to Jill Stein here. Let's move on to a candidate that actually has some common sense. And Jill Stein, does a very good job here. Quite a fantastic job at dismantling everything that AOC has to say in 2 minutes here. So let's give it to Jill Stein for a second for this verbal beatdown of AOC. She did a very good job here. This is complete nonsense coming from the Democratic Party, and the only reason they're sending attacks this way is because they're worried about what the power of the Green Party could actually possess if people were to get behind this candidate.
Jill here. I'm about to board, but very quickly I just wanted to thank AOC Pelosi so very much for her very authentic concern about growing green power. Clearly AOC is the attack dog du jour, and the Democrats are running scared, and they should be, because who wants to support a genocide? Who wants to vote for a genocide? And if there's anything that's predatory here, it's saying that your candidate is working tirelessly for a ceasefire when actually they are actively funding and arming genocide and actually refusing to even consider an arms embargo, which would bring the genocide to a screeching halt. AOC, who's supposed to be in leadership of the Democratic Party, it's amazing if she doesn't know about the anti-democratic tactics and strategies that the Democratic Party uses to crush and silence political opposition. They've been hiring an army of lawyers to throw competitors like me off the ballot. They've been hiring infiltrators and saboteurs and publicly posting job advertisements for those positions. They've been hijacking our public funding in order to keep us off the ballot, and they actually impersonated the Greens to throw us off the ballot in 22 in the Senate race for North Carolina, for example. How is that not fraud and election interference? Also, what's predatory here is stealing the signature issue of the Greens. Our Green New Deal launched in 2010, appropriated by AOC as her signature issue in 2018 without a mention of where it came from. So bottom line is, Americans want more choices. We are that choice. We are the one choice, which is anti-war, anti-genocide, pro-worker, climate emergency. Check us out, JillStein2024.com. Thanks so much.
And quite a promo there by Jill Stein, giving herself a good advertisement and a good selling point on maybe why Jill Stein has broken out as the defining candidate who, at least me personally, I want to vote for in 2024, because personally I can't stomach the choice of voting for a candidate who is pro-Israel, pro-genocide, pro-willing to send our money, our U.S. taxpayer dollars overseas. And Jill Stein is the only candidate in the race because Donald Trump is pro-Israel, Kamala Harris is pro-Israel, and Jill Stein is the only choice in the race who actually stands out on this key defining issue, and the only candidate in the race who is actually anti-war. I just wish that there were more people willing to vote for her. But it's because of attack dogs like AOC that third-party movements are never able to get off the ground, because the people who are supposed to be on the side of these working class movements always, just when it comes down to it, when it's actually time to pull up to the protest, they just never seem to pull up. When it's actually time to fight for change, it turns out they just ended up stabbing you straight in the back. And unfortunately, that's what seems to happen to these third-party movements far too often. It just happened to presidential candidate Cornel West earlier in the presidential cycle. He was supposed to be the Green Party candidate originally, and the Democratic Party sent Peter Hotez to be his campaign manager, convinced him to drop out of the race as a Green Party candidate, and instead join back in as an independent. And from right there, Cornel West lost all his momentum, because as soon as he left the Green Party, he lost all his ballot access, and they knew he would have to raise millions of dollars to get back into the race. So just like that, it could happen that easily. There's always infiltrators ready to enter these third-party movements, to enter these campaigns, because unfortunately, the establishment and these large forces are very powerful. But that's why we must stay strong, and we must stay focused, and we must realize who the enemy is. It is these powerful politicians who keep lying to us and who keep trying to tell us that things are one way, but they are actually in reality another. And that's why we must stay informed, and you guys can stay informed with me as long as you like, subscribe, and comment in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next.